Hey everybody, it's Mike Venus and I'm back. And let's talk because even though I don't possess right now in my person an MPC Live 2 or just an MPC, I will say this. First and foremost, let me start off with this. I just watched, this video is going to be me basically talking about the 2.11. I watched the video that Akai just put out, and I'm going to say this, bro. If you are an owner of the MPC Live 2 or the X, and you are not making fucking flames, fire, pyro, Frago music, you need lava, you need to leave it alone. Because, bro, what they've just brought to the MPC, and Lord willing, they bring it to the force. Because if they bring that shit to the force, it's a done deal. Like, but we ain't talking about the force, we talking about the MPC, right? Now, let's talk about it. I'm gonna start with the things that I'm like, first let's talk about what most people might use first and foremost. The new effects. I like that they improve the effects, right? The reverb, they add some more reverbs to the already air reverb, which is cool. They brought in air flavor, which is like a RC20. And if you're not going to use that, I don't know what you're doing. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, these new, Akai is really doing their thing. This is why I ain't going to leave Akai. I still will use I'm still going to use the Force. I don't have an MPC. I sold it. It's more because of the tactile feel of it. But what they're doing inside standalone is like, they're killing the competition, bro. They killing them. They killing them. Bro, okay, you get air effects, so that's like a RC20, bro. That's gonna be clutch with halftime clutch. Then you have an amp simulator. Now I used to play guitar, but I could talk about it now. I was in a bad car accident. My neck and my back got really messed up. My lower back and my neck, to the point that all of my vertebrae in my neck is damaged. So what does that do? That affects my hands. So this is why I'm kind of changing my way of producing or composing my music. Going more from playing a lot to now programming. And a lot of that is because of the fact that my left hand is weak as fuck. Like, I don't have as much strength in it as I used to be able to press down strings. And even when I play chords, I'm thinking I'm pressing down hard enough, and it's causing the notes to kind of re-trigger when I play chords on the Force or whatever, or even on the launch pad or even on the pad. So now I program, okay? And in my right hand, it's a combination of my neck injury and a past injury and an injury that I got from just overworking this arm, because it was a little bit stronger than this one at my old job. It has now caused it to have a lot of like pain with cramps and stuff, and my timing is off from playing. So if they had this shit like a couple years ago, like the amp simulator, the tuner, I would have totally used that shit, bro. I would have totally used it. I'm telling you, bro, if you play guitar or you got a modular synth, because the Live and the X got CV, so now you can actually tune your pitch of your instrument, your external instrument, right? And it's probably a way you can route it with with the audio's ins and outs. You can probably route it so that you can also probably even tune your inner stuff. So that's so dope, bro. I wish they had that shit. I wish they had that shit before, this shit started just going down south. But that's impressive, bro. That's impressive. That's like, you can, if you really want to be honest, you can use the Live. Hell, you can use the MPC because it's on all of them, these effects and stuff. But you can actually use it now as almost like a pedal board, to be honest. Like, I'm just being honest. Like you plug in, yeah, you will have to use an audio interface because the inputs doesn't give enough boost to, you know, have a strong signal. So you will have to use like, you know, some type of USB compatible preamp or, you know, audio interface. But bro, like you can literally turn your MPC into a fucking guitar pedal, bro. Come on, bro. That shit's fire, bro. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody say. Like Machine, I'm not spending 1,400 on no on no Machine Plus, and that shit can't even do that, bro. Not shitting on y'all. Y'all niggas got fire ass sounds. Like your loop packs, your instruments and contact and fucking massive, all that shit that's on the computer, fire. In that machine, y'all trying too hard. Cause you should just stay with your software. Cause now you stepping in a territory that you ain't ready for it. So now the MPC can be a fucking, not only a fucking amp, but now it can be a guitar, a whole fucking guitar rig, bro. Literally. And you can put that on your stuff. So sound designing on the MPCs now is just, there's no excuse. You can make literally anything. Literally anything. Anything. Literally. With these effects and with that amp simulation and with the tuner, you can literally do anything. And the other thing that I think is so fucking fire, that's more likely is gonna be slept on by the YouTube content creator community pertaining to the MPC, is the fact that you can now set tracks to a keyboard. You can layer tracks to a keyboard. And then not only that, you can actually control certain things, how these tracks will interact within a certain range on the keyboard with other tracks. Now you could do this on a key group, but it's a lot of workarounds, and that requires you to work with samples. This is just working with plugins. I don't think you get it. That's the same program they used to have that what's his name? Honorable C Note had mentioned on Producer's Grind about one of his techniques he used when he makes sounds or creates his own patches. Not only could you do that, but you can auto sample that patch from that section of the keyboard and turn it into a key group. Oh, I'm giving away too much sauce. I'm giving away too much info, bro, because that's what I'm saying. They bring that shit to the force, it's a wrap, bro. You can literally make your own instruments. That's so fire. But I know it'll be slept on. The customized menu screen, I don't think, that depends on the individual. Personally, if you've been working with the Live or the One or the MPCs, the X, it depends on the individual. But if you already have like the shortcuts down, I don't think it would be wise to really do that, because then you have to kind of relearn it, especially if you already developed the muscle memory. So that's okay. The other thing, you can set up a playlist. Now, I know I've seen a lot of people complaining about not getting disc stream in this update, and I'm like, fuck disc stream, bro. You have the capability to set up a playlist. A playlist. So that means after you make a beat, you can literally push the next thing and it will move to the next program. So you don't have to do all these extra steps to basically leave out that project and go to another project. Because like basically if you wanted to do that, you either had to go to the load to load up the thing. Now you have it right at the touch screen. Even though I'm not a big fan of the touch screen, but they making it so you have to use the touch screen on the MPCs. You can now push that button or that portion on the screen and switch to another project, bro. That's so boss. So like if you had a setup where you had two of these MPCs, you can run it like a deck. You know what I'm saying? You can literally run it like a deck, probably have like some mixers so you can make smooth transitions or whatever. But more likely, you can have it as a deck. That is clutch. That is so clutch, man. I don't, like I said, niggas gonna be sleeping on a lot of this shit. The other thing I'm really excited about is them introducing probability and ratchets. Like, probability, like I said, is to me the most exciting thing. That if they bring that to the force, it will totally change my workflow. Totally. Because now, besides you, like right now, if I make a drill beat, and I know this doesn't apply to it can to the MPC, but what I'm explaining, this is what I do on the force. Obviously, I don't want my 808 patterns to repeat because of the fact that I gear towards instrumentals. So with instrumentals, it's slightly different from making tracks for artists, but you can do the same thing, but you want to be a little bit minimalistic. But when you're doing straight instrumentals, anything goes. So I always like my patterns to change and allow the music to evolve. This is basically allowing a stagnant pattern to become more alive, so that now you're basically telling you're creating a system to say, hey, on this particular this particular time that the loop generates, I want this note to trigger, but only this many times, or the percentage of this triggering at this time is at this percentage and that. So literally, right, what I do on the force, that's why I said I pray to bring this to the force. I'll have to make almost 6 different bass patterns. Not a big deal to me, but when I do my glides, I always like to mix them up. So I might do 6 different patterns. Now with that feature in the MPC, I used to do drill on the MPC as well, but I would use a MIDI controller. But you can still do the same thing even if you draw it in. Now you can set probability to your glide notes, and this means every time that pattern goes through, you're getting a different 808 pattern, and you don't have to make multiples. You could do that even with your drums. And I'm like, bro, that's so dope. Because like if you have a standard beat, which everybody knows standard patterns of certain genres, and you want to add in your ghost notes or your little flams to your snare, or your little, triplets, or ratchets on your hats, and little things like that, you can do that without having to try to do all this acrobatic shit or drawing the shit in. Now you can just set your ratchets, and every time and add a little probability to it. Every time that shit loops, the beat is morphing. So now you can be even more efficient. So it actually will speed up your workflow if you really dive in. So I'm like, bro, man, like respect to Kai and MPC. And listen, you content creators, I hope y'all watch this. I might tag your ass. Y'all better get on the ball and actually start learning this shit and really teaching people, because don't make me go buy another one and start flexing on you niggas, because I will, because I know how to use that damn machine. But I just was like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. I don't want to ruffle feathers, but y'all better get on the ball, because what they doing now with the MPC, there should be 0 complaints. Y'all niggas, y'all better get on the ball, man. This shit is amazing. I'm like, bro, this is awesome. And then the other thing is, I'm gonna wrap it up on this one. Shit. Oh man. Oh, being able to turn any sample into a key group. That was a feature they already had on the Force. They brought it to the MPC. I wish they had it whenever I had it, because I would have been just burning through beats. You know what I'm saying? And not only can you basically turn it into a key group, but now you can even like literally set it to scales, progressions, and all that. And you can do the same thing on the Force, but I'm talking about for the MPC. It makes it so you can speed up your workflow. So like I said, man, like you guys, you better take advantage of this. And if you can, when it drops on June 23rd, you better go ahead and download that shit. I pray it's just not buggy, because that would totally suck. But from what I saw, I was like, yeah, this update, the 211 for the MPC, is probably the best update that I've seen outside of the 2.10. Like I said, I hope they bring this to the Force. If they do, especially the probability stuff and the capability to create these layered tracks to create, and I can sample it, turn it in key groups, and reroute the audio so that I can use like the amp synth and all that stuff. It's over, bro. And now you can tune you probably could tune your samples, you know, to figure out, like, if you don't know your samples, even though you can use the detective thing, but this is a little bit more precise because it's an actual tuner. I'm excited. So with that, this is Mike Venus. Congrats to Kai. I hope you people out there that's got the MPCs, if you haven't got one and you on the fence about investing in one, you might want to jump on it. I personally would tell you to get the Live 2. It's the most versatile, but if you really like to stay stationary, get the X. Don't fuck with the 1. Don't fuck with the Studio 2 or the software. And Sample King, you tripping, bro. You tripping. You tripping. No. Yeah, the M1 is nice. The software is okay, but standalone is always superior, bro. Always superior. What they just did with the update with the MPCs is legendary, and I'm very excited and eager to see what they will do with the Force when they bring these features into it. So with that, y'all be blessed. I'm Mike Venus, La Soul. Till next time, Mike out.